The only wholesaling course you will ever need. What is up, guys? Zach Ginn here.
Rick Ginn here.
And in today's video, what we're going to do is give you our entire wholesaling course 2025 in this video. That is right. 2025 is here, and we want to basically update everything that you need to know about wholesaling real estate. Everything from making your first 100 grand in this business, or heck, if you're just looking to get your first wholesaling real estate deal, this is the complete course, the complete guide, everything you need to know. We're going to break down exactly step-by-step how to start wholesaling, get it going so you can get your deal in under 2 weeks. We're going to painfully break this all down and really get an entire course right here in this video. Guys, my name is Zach Ginn.
My name's Rick Ginn.
Wholesaling real estate have changed our lives, and we're here to get you rich wholesaling real estate. So let's break this all down. Let's get into it, and let's talk about wholesaling real estate. So it is 2025. We need to get started, and we need to start doing deals wholesaling real estate. So I think a lot of people are going to start asking themselves a couple of questions like, okay, I'm looking to get into it. I'm looking to make money. I'm looking to get rich. How do I do this? Well, the first question we have to ask ourselves getting started in this business is, what is wholesaling real estate? I think a lot of people have a lot of questions, right? A lot of misconceptions of what wholesaling is, how to get started, and basically the entire process. In my personal opinion, wholesaling real estate is the process of writing up a contract to buy the house, selling that contract to a rich landlord house flipper for a profit. Now, the best way I can basically describe this is flipping paper. And that's the best way I like to talk about this. So basically what it is you find a guy who has an ugly house, you write up a contract to buy it, then you sell it to a rich landlord or a house flipper for a profit. That is wholesaling real estate. Is there any simpler way you can explain it?
No, it's simple. So I've been doing this 21 years, and a lot of people like to mix wholesaling up with real estate investing. Real estate investing is the broad category, and you got to understand wholesaling is the niche. It is the niche to basically almost eliminate your risk and have the highest reward. And a lot of people watching this stream right now are in that position. Now, wholesaling is actually very easy. The problem is most of you make it way too complicated, or maybe a guru made it too complicated. Number one, you all think you got to pay this huge price to learn this. The reality is me and Zach are going to teach you 100% for free today, start to finish, on not only how to get your first deal, but how to get you to your first $100,000. Guys, it's simple. Your job is to market and locate distressed sellers, distressed houses, and write a contract. Once you have that contract, everybody wants it. If you got the right price, it's easy to sell to a rich landlord, and that's all you're doing. But so many think you guys need to do A to Z. If you just focus on locating motivated sellers, distressed property, distressed owners, sit down, connect with them, and write a contract, you can easily sell it. The real money in wholesaling, so you guys understand it out there, is whoever can locate and connect with these people make the most money. And here's the really cool part is you can take the skill set onto anything else you want to do in life. And we talked about real estate investing. If you want to dominate real estate investing, the best real estate investors always come from a wholesale background. Don't believe me? Go out there and ask. Why? Because you learn how to market and connect with people. And here's the really cool part about wholesaling. All great deals start with wholesaling. Why? Because you get the deepest discounts available. If you want to sell the paper and generate quick cash, which is mostly what you're doing in the beginning, but you can decide to keep properties for long-term net worth. And you can develop a rental portfolio. You can do fix and flip, but we do not teach fix and flip. That is an entire another skill set and job. The highest skill set you can have is finding the deepest discounted properties, and that's what wholesaling is.
Yeah, and so if you're watching this and your uncle sent you this video and something crazy, the best way I can describe this, if you want to make $25,000 in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, this is what we're sharing. And if you have no money, that's okay. There's no sales pitch at the end of this, nothing. Let's break this all down. Let's get into it, and let's start making money wholesaling real estate. So we first got to understand, who in the world is Rick and Zach? Why should I listen to them? And what in the world are they talking about, right? What's going on here, right? Because they're saying a lot of crazy stuff right now. Like, why should I listen to Rick and Zach? Okay, so let's first talk about probably the first part, and probably one of the most important parts here is, why should you listen to us? Number one, we have a lot of people we have shown how to get rich wholesaling real estate. So let's kind of make this a little bigger here so we kind of understand this. Number one, this is just a small portion of the people that I've shown how to get started wholesaling real estate. Now, these are people in the past year that have probably watched me for free. These are people that go out here and just watch, the free course we have, pretty much watch us on YouTube, Facebook, wherever it is. People just follow me and you everywhere. And these are just checks this year that people did to get a deal. Now, there's probably 150, 200 on the Facebook too. I just took some cool ones. And again, if you don't believe me, you can go to flipwithrick.com, our website. We got a bunch of videos. Heck, got Nader. He made 700 grand in 2 years just listing exclusively from our stuff. We had 5 deals in a month, 50 grand first deal, 20K in 5 weeks. Let's get another one. Shout out to Dan. Dan's really running a cool business. I got to message him back. 4 deals at 23 years old, 100K in 6 months. Shout out to Caleb and Ryan. 10K first deal, 200 grand first year, 70K first month, 28 grand first deal. We have so many people. We got another 10,000 first deal, 5 deals in 6 months, 165 grand in 6 months. Guys, it just keeps going. 50 grand first deal, $1 million a year, 20K a month, $73,000. These are people like, they're not paying me. They're learning for free. 100 grand a month, 84 grand in the first 2 months, $500,000 in 8 months, 17 grand a month just from learning my free content. 50 grand, 6 months, TJ and Saeed, 30 grand in 2 months, 101 on just one wholesaling deal. Luca, 48 grand a month starting out. Guys, I don't understand. How can you not see this and not be like, whoa, 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 whoa? These guys actually kind of know what they're talking about. Maybe they're not little lazy bums out here, right? Maybe I should start listening to them. Guys, why should you listen to us? We first have to kind of flex a little to let you know why you should listen to us. Number one, my name's Zach Ginn.
My name's Rick Ginn.
And so we both collectively make millions of dollars every single year, net, not gross, none of that stuff, in our bank accounts, profit every single year, wholesaling real estate. You have been wholesaling for?
21 years, going on 22.
And I've been wholesaling for 8 years. And a little thing about me is I've done over 2,500 wholesaling real estate deals. He has done over 3,500 wholesaling deals. So that makes it over 6,000 combined wholesaling real estate deals between the two of us. So I think we've done a lot. We've made a lot of money. And so I'm 25. And for 8 years, since I was 17, I've been doing this business and I've made a lot of money. On top of that, too, it's not just how much money we make, right? It's just telling you we have over 250,000 active students at freewholesaling.com. The reason why it's that many is I'm the only person that teaches wholesaling for free. Anywhere else, there's going to be a course, guru, big grab at the end of this. Guys, I teach it for free. This is it. And probably the most important part, probably the thing you should be listening to us more than anything here is we have produced the most, quote, first deals than anybody else in this industry. If you're looking to get your first deal wholesaling real estate, not one person has more testimonials saying, wow, these guys taught me how to do my first deal than anybody else. Name whoever you want, say it. If they could produce more testimonials than me, I would love to. We can go deal for deal here, but it ain't going to happen. And so this is why you should listen to us. And let's kind of break this all down and share exactly how to get started wholesaling real estate, this whole process, what you should be doing. So again, if you're brand new, I'm assuming you know nothing. I'm assuming we're starting from the beginning here, wholesaling real estate. What is wholesaling? This is a really interesting chart here of just explaining the wholesaling process. And again, there's a lot easier, simpler ways to describe this. But basically, wholesaling real estate starts, it's a 30-day process. It can get crazier. It can get less crazy. It's really dependent on how you're doing everything. But I would say for most people out here getting started in wholesaling real estate, it's all about marketing, finding the deal, right? That is the first step on this process, right?
Yes. So remember, the way we teach you at freewholesaling.com is you've got to learn to go out and locate motivated sellers. This is basically what we call marketing. It is the highest skill set you can learn in wholesaling, and you have to master this part. Remember, we're not looking for people that want to sell their house. We're looking for people who need to sell their house. This is why you got to find someone that has a reason to sell their house. People who just want to sell their house, just put it on MLS. They work with realtors. They just want the highest offer. You want to avoid those people like the plague. We want to find people that have a pressing circumstance, either financial or personally, and they want to get the house sold. These are people who want it to go fast, and they want everything to be super convenient. This is what wholesaling is fundamentally founded on, the marketing piece.
Yes, and then we lock up the deal, we find a buyer, we walk them through, and we close it. Now, I'm not just showing you really quick 5 steps, right? Marketing is going out here and finding a distressed looking property. Then once we find somebody who wants to sell the property, we lock it up, meet with the buyer, meet with the seller, boom, we get it closed. But specifically for locking the deal, we meet with the seller who's looking to sell the property. We sign the assignment of contract for them to actually buy the house, right? So we meet with the seller, sign a contract, then we find a buyer. They do the assignment, we walk them through, boom, we close. Now, this sometimes is confusing for people. So let's kind of break down a wholesaling deal and kind of show you exactly, roughly what it's going to look like, right? So there's really 3 parties. Okay, that's the best way that I can really describe this. There's 3 parties in the wholesale real estate transaction, right? There is the seller, the wholesaler, and then there is the buyer. Heck, you can even call wholesalers, what do you call this when like you have 3 parties and then you're in the middle? What do you call it here? The middleman, right?
Right.
So you can kind of call yourselves the middleman in wholesaling real estate, right? Now, this is what it is. These are the 3 parties primarily in this transaction. We have a seller who is freaking out. Oh my gosh, I have this ugly house, right? Torn down, tall grass, all nasty. It's got cracks everywhere. It's ugly, and bad, nasty, bad, ugly house, right? What I'm going to do is me, the cool, super handsome, awesome wholesaler, right?
It's quite graphic.
Very graphic, right? I am going to reach out to this guy. I'm going to say, hey, man, I'm looking to buy some houses in the area for cash. You looking to sell it? You're like, oh my gosh, man, I just want to get rid of this thing. Okay, well, how about we sign this piece of paper? Blah, 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 blah. I agree to buy it for $100,000. Sign here, sign here. I sign, they sign, and boom. I now have a signed contract. Okay? I have a signed contract. I bring this contract to the title company. Now, I'm not trying to confuse you. Okay? But let's just keep this here for now. I'm not trying to confuse you. But this is going to be the title company. They are not a party in this transaction. Basically, what we need to know about a title company is they just referee the whole thing. They're basically our transaction coordinator. And I'm going to get a lot of trouble saying that. But they're basically the referee. They're just making sure that they get their money, we get our money, and they make sure the buyer gives us the money. They're kind of our protector, right? And not getting the whole nitty-gritty of this, they make sure the buyer is not getting screwed from the seller, and the seller is not getting screwed from the buyer. The title company cost us $0, and they're actually one of our best assets we have in wholesaling. Now, what I do is I just give this contract to the title company. Okay? That's what I do. I give them to the title company. Say, hey, let's start getting this deal closed. And what title company does is say, okay, Mr. Seller, what's a good day for you to, close? What's a good selling date? And they coordinate everything, right? Now, what I do is, because I just lock this thing up for, give it a red. We just lock this thing up for what, 100 grand? Let's do easy numbers today. I wrote a contract to buy this ugly house for $100,000. Now, let's kind of go out here and talk. And I want to make sure everyone can hear us here today. Hello, hello, hello.
Test.
Yeah, I think we're all good. Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Let's say we find this guy. Now, in wholesaling real estate, or I talk about younger people in general, when they think of a rich landlord or a real estate guy, right? They think of this guy. This is who they think, okay? They think of this guy. He has a monocle, obviously.
A what?
A monocle. You know, like the Pringles guy or the peanut, right? He's an old rich man with a top hat. You know, and he just has all this money. He owns all these rentals, and he says, "Good day, sir. I'm here to acquire property." And that's how he talks. That's how people think rich landlords are, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I am here to acquire more estates for me. And, you know, that's how people think landlords are. But no, okay. What actually happens here is this guy, all right, looks like him. Just a real estate guy. Yeah, that's it. Okay, but let's use an exaggerated caricature of what a cash buyer says. I'm looking to acquire more property. And so he wants to buy houses. But what he usually does is he buys them for realtors and he overpays because he's sick of paying $6,000 commissions. He's like, dude, I can't pay 6% commission, right? He's got to buy more Ferraris. And so basically what I do is I go to this guy and I say, hey, man, I see you own all of these rental properties in Nashville, Tennessee, right? And let's say our property, see the red right here? Our property is like right smack dab in the middle of all of his rentals. Because this guy, I know it sounds crazy. There are people that own like 15, 20 rentals like in a neighborhood. Like me and Rick are like this, right? But specifically, I see that this guy from the methods we're going to teach today owns all these properties next to us. Wow, I thought that was red. Whatever, I'll make it a star. He owns all these properties. Say, hey, man, I got a deal locked up. I'm a wholesaler. See if you're looking to buy another rental. It's right by your other ones. He's going to say, jolly ho, that is great. Because he wants to buy rentals near him. People love this stuff, right? They think it's the monopoly guy. So, oh, can I have the mustache? He has a mustache too. Basically, of course, he's going to buy rental property near his other rentals. Guys, when you lock up a deal, there's people everywhere. So what I'm going to do is like, hey, man, would you like to buy this for $140,000? He's like, he does the math. He looks at it. He says, yeah, it's a great deal. 140? I would have, for a house like this, I would have to pay 160 grand after fees and title, and I have to pay the 6%, and I got to do 3%, but closing and all these fees and negotiations. This is a great deal. So what I do is I say, okay, perfect. Well, what's a good time for you to come by the house? And they'll be like, well, I can come 3 o'clock on Wednesday. Perfect. I called my seller up and say, hey, is it okay if my partner, Chad, and I come by and see the house at 2 o'clock? We just want to look over a couple of things. Yeah, that works. He comes by and he says, wow, that's great. Cool. I would like to buy this for 140. He doesn't know I bought it for 100, but he knows that's a good price for him. So he's happy. Everyone's happy here. So I write something called an assignment of contract. Okay? Basically what an assignment of contract is I am selling him my contract for a finder's fee. You give me 40 grand and I'll give you this contract that is for 100. And that's basically what it is. He says, I agree to give Zach 40 grand and I'll close that deal for 100. So it's 140,000. He signs it, I sign it, and he doesn't care because it's 140 grand. He doesn't really care. And basically what happens at closing day, I don't remember the cap. I think it's on the, we'll find out.
I know, I drop them all the time.
Basically at closing, he gives $140,000 to the title company. Okay? At closing day, he gives $140,000. He agreed to buy it to the title company. Now, what title company does is they give me a, let's make this green because I like money. Money, money. I'm like Mr. Crab. Money, 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 money. That's the buyer, right? The title company gives me, okay? I really want to get this in everyone's mind today. The title company gives me a check that says $40,000 signed by a lawyer. Title company gives me a check for $40,000 to me. Me, 40 grand. Because I just did this. And then the seller, I have too many colors here. We got you talk. You're like my
No, go,
not
I'm
my
watching.
marker man.
It's the visual.
And
I
then
like this.
basically, he gets his 100 grand. He's like, oh my gosh, I got my 100 grand. I got my 40 grand. He's happy. He got a deal under what a realtor would pay. So the only person that gets screwed here is a realtor. Yes. Love that. And basically, we get a $40,000 check. He gets his money, and everybody's happy. That is basically wholesaling real estate 101. Okay? We have a seller, we have a wholesaler, we have a buyer. That is pretty much it. And title company kind of runs point. They collect the 140 grand, they make sure to give us the check, and then they get their money. That's pretty much it. This is wholesaling. What do you think?
So, we talk about the realtor, and there's this misconception. Listen, a lot of real estate is run through realtors. I don't even deny that. The problem is most people are looking for their maximum return. So I'm going to give you 3 simple strategies. Actually, I'm going to give you 3 rules. And if your property or your seller does not meet this rule, you're probably going to get a bad deal. Now, I've simply broke this down to an acronym now. ODN. It's like, no, it's not the name of my dog. It's ODN. Number 1, off market. We met this seller. We marketed directly to him. Here's the funny part is a lot of times realtors can't even solve the seller's problem because they need retail properties that are pretty, that'll pass all inspections and get financing. How do I avoid that? I look for off-market properties, properties like this. Guys, most ugly properties are off-market. Number 2, you got to be direct. Direct to the seller. Why? Let me ask you this. If I spend 20 minutes talking to a realtor on the phone, which is what most gurus are going to train you, and you do all this great talk and you feel like you got a warm rapport built, they like you, here's the bottom line. You can have 20 minutes, you can tell the realtor everything. When you hear at the end of the day, the realtor goes, hey, Mr. Seller, Rick made an offer $100,000. You want to take it or not? That's it. They don't share all the information. So the problem is you're not presenting to the real decision maker. And a lot of realtors will manipulate it or they just focus on the number. If you're not direct to seller, you have zero shot. Last one, and most important, we focus on people that need to sell their house. Why? Because listen, everybody wants to sell their house, period. Let me give you an analogy. Who wants a Lamborghini? I do. Wasteful spending, I don't really need it, but it makes me feel good. I want it. Everybody who sells their house or is thinking about selling their house, they want to sell it. But only a few need to sell. Who somebody needs to sell their house? Someone's house is in financial crisis, a pre-foreclosure, probate, maybe a family member died. Maybe it's a trash rental. Maybe somebody bought a few rentals thinking they were going to get the path to financial freedom, and they found out it's not as passive as they thought. Every one of my best deals, and especially when we talk about 40K right here, guys, every one of them has these. Now, I'm not saying you can't get a deal on an on-market property, but your numbers are going to be significantly lower. I see a lot of deals like you can do direct, you can do on-market stuff, but you're going to get profits sometimes less than $5,000. Let me ask you, who wants 40K? I do this all the time. This is my secret little formula: off-market, direct to seller, and need to sell. How do I do that? I laser focus my marketing. I find people that already have problems. Now, if you want to waste your time and you want to get super busy, do the opposite. Go ahead, do the opposite. I promise you, you're going to be the busiest person you know. And you know what busy is going to lead you to? You ready? Busy equals broke. Busy means I'm just going to run around, my head cut off. I'm going to do all this stuff because I bought it through a program. It sounded so perfect. And you know what? You're going to get busy. Busy's always broke. You don't believe me? Go find your friends. The ones that goes, I'm so busy, I haven't even had a chance to sit down today. You know what that tells me? Your life's chaos, and I don't want any part of it. A well-mannered, great entrepreneur, especially a wholesaler, has to avoid being busy. It doesn't mean we don't have a lot of stuff to do. Just busy means I just go from one monotonous task to the other, and I'm hoping and praying it gets it done. So if you want to change it out, don't be busy. because you will be broke. There's no other way to do it. Break these 3 rules. I promise you aggravation, pain. And here's the bottom line, guys. My last one. I'm running out of colored markers here. Me and Zach are always going to teach you. See, here's how people wind up busy. They do the easy part first. And then you know what winds up? It winds up being super hard. Don't believe me? Almost every course out there has this hey, go on market. You're going to find the phone number, the seller's phone number. You're going to have pictures, and they're even going to give you the ask price. It's so easy. You just got to make an offer. Super easy. I buy the package, and then I beat my head for 3 months, and then I wind up coming back to Rick and Zach at freewholesaling.com. So here's what you need to do. You just need to swap it around. Why don't you just do the hard work up front, and then everything gets easy? If you can do that, you'll do great in wholesaling. The reality is you're going to have to go through the hard conversations, the difficult conversations, those awkward pits in your stomach when they teach you to go for no. Because if you'll do the hard stuff first, everything gets easy after that. Don't believe me? Go out, get a property on MLS or a FSBO through Zillow, which you can still do. You write a contract, you get a yes on your first offer. Yeah. And then you know what? You call 30 cash buyers and they beat you silly. And then you got to go, crap. I got to go back to the seller and I either got to reduce the price or get out of this contract. And you want to talk about really increasing work. Easy became hard. So switch it around. Use the techniques we teach you. Use the 3 rules. ODN, very simple to memorize. ODN, off-market direct to seller, people that need to sell their house. And then use the go for no method. Stop trying to figure out what your seller you think it is and just ask. Expect a no, and then you get in a negotiation, and then you can cash $40,000 checks or you can cash $1,000 checks. I promise you the 40K checks all have this in mind. Guys, do the hard work up front. Things will get easier. But if you want to avoid the hard work and do the easy, you will be busy and you'll be broke. And I promise you, these are the rules of wholesaling. I've been doing this almost 22 years. I'd rather you just focus on the people that need to sell. And if you can grasp that concept, you can hit it out of the park in wholesaling. Most people struggle in wholesaling because they don't get their wholesale compass set. And they chase around people that really don't want to sell. They just want to sell their house and they just waste your time. That is not wholesaling, guys. That's pure speculation. And me and Zach don't teach that. So
no, we don't do it. So that's wholesaling 101. Okay, I think we can kind of grasp the concept here and really understand roughly what is wholesaling. But there's a lot more to wholesaling than just understanding it, right? It's actually doing it, making money. But again, this is the process, really. I'm really not trying to make this complicated. This is what it is. So let's kind of break this all down and kind of talk here, okay? Number 1, wholesaling, 5 easy steps. Now, wholesaling real estate will change your life. You can make $25,000 this month just doing this. I know it's crazy. I mean, 21 years, 8 years, we've done it, right? You can get your first deal in 2 weeks. You can find somebody that seller in 2 weeks, no problem. I've done this a lot. Now, wholesaling real estate, I want everyone to understand, is a get-rich fast, hard work scheme. So a lot of people think, oh, wholesaling real estate is a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a get-rich-quick scheme, ... hard work scheme. And so, yes, you can, I know it's crazy, but you can get a $40,000 check really fast. I've helped a lot of teenagers do this, and they do stupid stuff after they make money, but hey, it's okay, right? They do it. But the problem is you have to work hard to do this. Still, if you work a regular job right now, I don't know one thing you can do. If you work harder, you'll get paid more as a salary. Maybe a sales job, like you're not putting in 40 grand. You're not. And so this is where you can start making a disproportionate amount of money for the effort you put in. You are still going to have to work hard. And that is the one thing that's going to be the hardest for you. Now, there are hundreds of rich landlords and house flippers ready to pay you for these deals. That is it. There's so many of them looking to pay you. So many deals that can be done here. This is it. So let's break this all down. Wholesaling real estate, again, like I described, there are 3 basically principal transactions here, but also there are basically 3 parts. If I have to segment wholesaling into 3 simple parts in the process, this is what I would do. Number 1, I call it marketing. Finding people who want to sell the property for cash. That is the first thing. You want to go out here and find people who are looking to sell the property for cash. If you find these people, you're going to do well. Next here, and this is something that I think a lot of people struggle on, but it is this negotiating. It is writing up the contract for a certain price. Acquisitions. Now, people freak out, but acquisitions is this process right here of me talking to the guy and getting contract signed. A lot of people think acquisitions is sales. It is not sales.
Nope.
It is just like, it's as simple as hey, I like the house. Okay, well, me and my partner can buy it. He's your partner, right? What price works for you, right? We can get the whole sales script and acquisitions and closing, but like, that's it. Pretty simple.
Guys, when it comes down to wholesaling, the sales training it comes from every other industry. So if I find someone who wants to sell a house, you need formal sales training.
Yeah.
I'm the first to tell you. That's what realtors are taught in. When I find someone that needs to sell the house, your job's just not to screw it up. And so you get educated first, then you learn to use God's gifts, your 2 ears, and then you become wildly resourceful and solve the problem. The more resourceful you can be, the better the marketer you can be. That is the highest skill set in wholesaling. Sales training, I'm just going to tell you, it doesn't mix with wholesaling. You don't believe me? I've been doing this almost 22 years. I don't have a magic phrase I say to a seller that instantly makes them sell their house. You know what I do? I just help the seller get out of their own way, and I guide them through the process because I've done it so many times. And you know what? I believe by me contacting that homeowner, by me meeting with that homeowner, talking to him on the phone, I am single-handedly the best solution. I can solve their problem, and my belief and my conviction is unwavering.
Exactly. And then the last part of this is just selling that contract to the rich landlord or house flipper for a finder's fee. Again, this is called dispositions. Now, let's talk about the first part, marketing. Marketing. This is exactly how we go out here and find the deal. It's how we find sellers who want to sell their house for a discount due to a motivating circumstance. Again, now that's kind of the part we didn't talk about and the part we're going to get into. Well, Zach, it's easy for you to say, but how do I find this ugly house, right? How do you find it? I think that's the biggest question and probably the one that is the most effort for most people, right? That is the one that is the most effort. Now, again, there's a lot of lists you can get, and there's divorce, tall grass, all these things. But one thing I will tell you is marketing is the most important part of wholesaling. The part of finding the rich guy, you could find rich guys anywhere, okay? Like you could find them, they're pretty simple. It's pretty easy to find a title company. The hardest part, and the part where you're probably going to spend 80% of your time, is going to be finding people like him. That is going to, do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, that's it. Let me just let you know, when you're starting out wholesaling, you don't need a transaction coordinator. You just need a good title company.
Yep.
Now, you get more advanced somewhere down the road. I'm just saying in the beginning, a lot of you guys, I got a transaction coordinator. You don't need it. Your title company will do most of the heavy lifting for you, but your job is locating these motivated sellers, and don't hand it off to your title company. You help keep the connection going. They help you out with all the paperwork, and they'll tell you what you need. And you simply go, I need this document, Mr. Seller, and then you give it back to the title company. So your effort's got to be in locating these motivated sellers, finding these ugly houses. That's where your effort needs to be put the most.
So exactly. So me and Rick kind of contemplated this week of like, how can I just make an infographic just showing everybody? Because it's the more thing I get. How do I find deals? How do I find deals? How do I find deals? And I see these gurus, they sell $9,000, $10,000, $14,000 programs. Like I didn't even tell you.
Tell me.
You're going to get upset.
Upset.
There's a person out here selling a very, very expensive course. It's over $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, maybe $10,000. I'm not going to say it. I didn't even know about this person. Someone sent me a message the other day.
Yeah.
They sell a course on how to, I can't say because they'll reveal it, how to wholesale probates, pre-foreclosures, and lists that nobody knows about. And they just released it. Shocker. But basically, stuff we've been talking about. So we thought about it, and we kind of devised this secret formula, this cheat sheet to put that guy out of business and pretty much any guru out of business on how to find a wholesaling deal. There's guys that drank for dollars.
Anyone that tells you it's a secret, guys, they're selling you. There's no secrets in this business.
So this is it. This is how you can go out here and find wholesaling deals. Now, kind of explain what we got here. Gotta move the camera over.
You got it?
Explain it.
Okay. So basically on the first section is we're talking about ways to find deals. So this is going to be more of your manual of how you have to figure this out. Now, I exactly the left side of the board. I did one of the other sides just so you could get both our thought processes. And the other side is going to teach you about the list to go through. So the idea is by the end of this video, you can walk away with any method you decide to get going. Now, my opinion, the more the merrier. You need as much volume as humanly possible. But I always start out with driving for dollars. Why? Because it's an earned list, it's a private list, and matching eyes.
Well, let's talk about lists for a second.
Okay.
But before we just get so straight in, I got to assume you know nothing, right? Number one, this is the little chart. There are two ways to find a seller who wants to sell the property for cash to make the money. Number one, we have to find ways to reach out to these people. There's actually more than one way to reach out to somebody. And there's also lists. We need lists and we need marketing channels. So for example, anybody can just mix and match this little chart. This is how we devised it. Number one, if you can pull a list of, I'm going to explain this all to you, but the water shut-off list, this is a list of people that have no running water on the property.
Mm-hmm.
Usually no one's living in there. It's a great, ugly house. If I just mix that with text blasting, I can just text somebody that has a water shut-off. Mix and match this however you want. You want a door knock, a pre-foreclosure? It's a great way to do, like, literally mix and match. This is the combo menu at Chili's, right? Like, do whatever you want here, right? Mix this with any of these and you will find deals. I cannot make this any easier, okay? I'm a simple man. I like to have my food, but I like to have a side with the food. It's if I have tacos, I want, refried beans and rice. If I have sushi, I'm going to have probably crab ragoon with it, right? I need to pair it the right way. So this is how you pair it. It's like cheese and wine. So you pair this. Some things pair better with others and some things don't pair well with others. For example, if I'm going to go out here and cold call a pre-foreclosure, not a good list. But if I send a letter to a probate, that thing's fire. So this side is all things that are free, that cost no money at all. And on the right side are other lists, but you have to pay for. So I tell everyone, if you're going to pay for a list, you should just go to xleads.com. That is the best by far. Like if you don't find someone's phone number, cheapest, the best is xleads by far. If you want to go out here and pull the data, xleads.com is the best website for it. But this is not an xleads video. But basically, I'm assuming you have no money. So, but I don't want to not share anything, right? So let's talk about this, okay? Pick any of these and just, so let's talk about these really quick and let's kind of break down our favorite pairings. Number one, drive for dollars. Get in your car, look for ugly houses. This is it. Get in your car, look for ugly house. That's driving for dollars. Two, cold calling. Pick up the phone and start dialing. One of the best ways to get a wholesaling deal. Call these people up. Three, put a sticky note on the house. You find an ugly house, put a sticky note. Usually I put on the sticky note, hey, this is Zach. I had a quick question about your property. Please give me a call back. Four, SMS text blasting. You can text the seller. Google Voice is actually a free service to do this. Google Voice also should be your dialer too if you have no money. You can send probate letters or letters. I think that is covered. So it's that's the other one. Is this one? Yeah, send letters. Send letters. Six, we can send direct mail. We can reverse Facebook ad hack, which a lot of people don't like the other term I use. I use digital bandit signs. For some reason, people do not like that word. So I've changed it to reverse Facebook ad hacking. That makes you do it, good to go. But basically what we do is we go to Facebook groups. For example, if I have a group of the Northern Ohio Bass Fishers Club and I wholesale in Northern Ohio, what I'm going to do is take a picture of me with a fish or AI picture of me and a fish and say, hey, I love fishing, but I also like buying properties. If you're looking to sell a property, me and my partner Rick are looking to buy 2 more in the area this week. You'll get 40,000 people in there. You're going to get a lot of eyeballs, a lot of deals, and it costs no money to do. You can door knock, which you just knock on a person's door. We teach it. A little bit of work, but you could get deals doing it. 9 JV deals. If you go to zachdiscord.com, which is my free Discord, there's tens of thousands of people in that Discord now. It's insane. You can actually joint venture, split deals with people, find deals for people, or the other way around. Works pretty cool. 10, you can actually reach out to realtors. They actually have deals for you. They actually have buyers for you too. SEO, PPC, Facebook ads, it is a way. It's not my favorite way, but it is a way that does work, and referrals. And that's basically the 12 ways to find a wholesaling deal. Now, if you want to find a list, let's kind of explain this.
So basically, you have two different versions of the list here. So this is the means to connect with them. But everybody starts out in wholesaling, you have to have a list. So we call this prospects. Some people call them suspects. The idea is like you're trying to find the needle on the compass to point you at people that need to sell their house. If you just want to find people that want to sell their house, you can go to MLS. But honestly, that is not going to be your best strategy starting out. So if we go through the list, they're in no particular order, but I will kind of highlight my favorites.
So those are the free. So
yeah.
if you have no money,
so,
this is the best.
So on this one, these are all free. Anybody can get these. You have no limitations. The only people that can get these are the people that don't want to work. And if you don't want to work, this video is not even going to make sense to you. So let me kind of run through it. These are the free ones. Code violations. Basically, they're going to find ugly houses for you. Let the government do the work for you. These are people with tall glass, boarded up windows. Honestly, code violations, in my opinion, are absolutely some of the best deals you can humanly get. And you know what? It never changes. It's the exact same. Me and Zach teach you the fundamentals of wholesaling. You've got to find consistent, reliable, motivated sellers. Look no further than code violations. The next one, pre-foreclosures. These are people that have missed out on mortgage payments. They're getting behind on it. And the bank is basically saying, if you don't pay the mortgage, we're going to foreclose. The key word here is pre-foreclose. We catch them early in the process. And how do we find these lists? Once again, with the code violations, you basically go to it's going to be in your city office, wherever there's a police department or a city hall. And remember, you're going to get resistance on these lists, overcome them with persistence. Pre-foreclosures is before they do the foreclosure process. A lot of you make the mistake of asking for pre-foreclosures. Ask for the notice of default or the list pendants. And the key here is catching them early. How early? I like to catch them within about 4 months because they have options and there's plenty of money left in it. The next one, if you never heard of Rick before, probates is my absolute favorite. This is basically when somebody passes away. When they own something, they have it titled like a car, a boat, or a piece of real estate. Dead people can't sign titles. I know it's brutal, but that's the truth, why we have a probate process. They basically have a will and they name a person that's in charge, usually the most responsible family member. And basically they take over the rights. They can keep the house, get it transferred in their name, or most people want to sell these properties. These are some of the best deals you will ever get. Now, they're not super fast deals and you don't get thousands of leads, but when you get them, we talked about $40,000 paychecks. What if you got $100,000? I've had that happen so many times. Yes, off single family houses. Those are probates. That's why we want you to do them. The next one, tax liens. Basically, you have property taxes. This is the United States government way of always staying in your back pocket. You never really own the house because if you don't pay the taxes, guess who gets the house? Somebody gets the house auctioned off and it gets sold. Once people get 2 years behind on their taxes, it usually becomes a big problem. They become a motivated seller and you can get these tax liens from your county tax collector office. Easy place to get it. Remember, they're going to tell you no at first. Just be persistent. It doesn't mean be mean, just be persistent. Credit card debt, guys, this is a huge one. You can find lists of people behind on their credit cards that have defaulted. Some of them are paid for, some of them you can get free, but listen, where there's smoke, there's fire. Once you're behind on the credit card, you're probably behind on the car payment and you're probably behind on your mortgage payment. Don't look any further than that. You can do on-market deals. Not my favorite. I tell you up front, it doesn't mean you can't get a deal and you can get some tremendous volume because you're going to need the volume to make it happen. Let me give you an example. If you're going to do Zillow FSBOs, you're going to have to make a crap load of phone calls. I'm not even going to hide it from you. But if you like talking to people and you've got a lot of hustle and you don't have a lot of money, maybe that's what you have to do. MLS, my least favorite, because these are experienced realtors that basically are only focused on their commission and their price. Occasionally they get desperate when they start reducing the listings, meaning it was listed for 300 grand. Now it's 280, 270, 260. I like to look for 2 price reductions and at least 90 days or longer on the market, or maybe 6 months, because when it's expired, they got nothing to lose. But a lot of you want to contact them right off the bat. So find some price reductions in it and make sure it is an old listing. I usually like to look for 100 days or older. Once again, you're going to need an incredible amount of quantity, and you're going to have to learn how to speak realtor language, which I don't. They drive me nuts. So next one, digital bandit signs. We talked about this a little bit earlier. Guys, this is a free method. It's going to cost you a little bit of time, but it's posting inside groups and basically bridging your passion and letting them know what you do. So if you showed a fish picture or like you had a cute dog, hey, just let you know, I love dogs and I love helping people out with dogs that need to get a house sold. You just bridge the gap. This is all about organic. Do not spam. It does not work. The next one, Craigslist. Yes, this is how old I am. I'm telling you Craigslist. I should call it Rick's List. Craigslist is, somebody said, and I've heard this multiple times, this is where properties sometimes go to die. Like they can't get anyone to sell it. They can't do it. Now, you can attract motivated sellers. The key with Craigslist is consistency, post, and find motivated sellers. And he or she that will answer the phone is going to get the deal. Please don't do a Craigslist or any other type of online listing and don't answer your phone live, because it's going to kill the momentum you build in it. JV partners, this is just the act of working with people. I told you guys when I started out wholesaling, I didn't do dispo. I just didn't have the attention span for it. I spent so much time on motivated sellers. People made a lot of money off me in the first 18 months. I fixed it over the long term, and there's a lot of people that I helped to get started in wholesaling, and they can give their credit to my career. But there's a lot of people. Where do I go? Zach Discord, Wholesaling Houses for Real, the Facebook group. There's tons of people that need help. Help people make money. If you guys can complement each other, you can make a ton of money. Water shutoffs, we talked about this earlier. When the water shut off, nothing good's going on in the house. This is one of the highest signs the house needs to be sold. There's no water, there's no shower. I don't need to get in the graphics of this. It's not good. Fire damaged properties. Oh, real quick on this. Water shutoffs you're going to get from your municipality, and it's got to be public. And this is one of the hardest lists to get. Don't be scared. Go out and get it. You've got to swing the bat at all these lists to walk away with like 5 or 6 just to get it started on the ones you have to ask for. Fire damaged properties is exactly what it says. These are properties that caught on fire. Where do I go? My fire department. Ask very nicely. Do not give a firefighter a hard time. Ask for the most recent fire visits in the last 30 days. And then you just reverse engineer and find out who the owner's on it and make them an offer. Next one, evictions. This is going to get at your local county courthouse. These are landlords that are sick and tired of their tenants not paying, or they trash the property. You go, Rick, why evictions? I'm here to tell you, sometimes people just say, I've had it. I don't want to deal with this property. When's the best time? When the property is vacant, it's making no money, and it needs repairs. Those are dynamite. And those are super, super easy to get. The next one, arrest records. That's right. I said arrest records. No, you don't have to go down to the jail. You just look online. Usually your sheriff's office has the largest database. They usually are a county-wide operation. You can use your city police department. Whenever someone gets arrested, they post a mugshot. They'll tell you what they're arrested for. I'm looking for felony, multiple offenses, DUIs. Obviously, DUIs is the most common one. The first one, they get a warning or probation. The second one, they usually do about 90 days in jail. The third one, they go away for 3 to 5 years. And these people, I just cross-reference to see if they own property. They are some of the easiest people to connect with. And I find texting them to be one of the most powerful ways to do it, or even door knocking. Virtual driving for dollars is basically looking at photos. Some of you don't have cars. You still can do the hustle on the computer. You can look at rooftops. You can look at people's landscaping. It's brown. And you can find problems. You can find boarded up windows. You just got to spend some time with it. You can work with realtors. I have a different way to work with realtors. Calling people on the MLS and cold calling realtors, to me, is not the greatest strategy. If I'm going to work with realtors, I'm just going to go out and teach realtors, hey, listen, when you get that tired, beat up, old, ugly property and you don't think you can sell it because it won't pass inspection and the seller doesn't have money to fix it, call Rick, call Zach. We'll make an offer on it. And here's the key is I'm going to pay your full commission. It takes the weight off the burden because realtors don't like selling ugly houses. They feel bad. They feel icky. fix their problem. I like to go to realtors and pre-vet them. And if a realtor calls me once or twice in a year, I'm okay with it. Most of you guys hammer realtors. They call you with every listing they have. And after about 30 days, they don't want anything to do with you. That's why we're the Hatfield-McCoy. The other way is you can fire close to expired listings. At least they'll listen to you at that point. That's the only way I really like to work with realtors. Estate sales. That's right. People have a lot of crap in their house and they got to get rid of it, particularly older people. They find people that do estate sales. They help liquidate everything in the garage, the attic, all the stuff. A lot of times probates are tied up with this. Remember, we're not interested in the junk in the house. That is not the prize here. The prize is in the real estate. Find these people, do advertisement, a lot of local newspapers and stuff like that, and then cut them a deal. You can sell the stuff on the inside. I'll buy the house. We'll both work together and give them a referral fee, and then have them keep you top of mind whenever these deals come up. Estate sales are one of my favorite ways to get it because all these people need help. Garage sales. No, I'm not going to make you go to the garage sale. You just look up all the garage sales. Everything's online. A lot of it's Facebook, Craigslist. Get a list of all the garage sales and basically look up and see if the owner is an absentee owner. Rick, how do I know that? They're going to have a different mailing address than the physical property address. That tells you right off the bat they're a landlord. And a lot of times they don't know about these garage sales. You just give them intel information. I look them up. I skip trace them. I get their phone number. And I say, listen, are you going to be at the garage sale? It's a complete setup question. They go, what are you talking about? Hey, there's a garage sale at your property. They immediately just figure out, hey, the tenant's behind on rent. You just gave them insider information and you have a competitive advantage over any other wholesaler. I love to do the garage sales. It works really well. The best way is just to cold call them. You can possibly text them. We talked about expired listings. We talked about Zillow FSBOs. You just need a ton of quantity when you do it. Listen, we put 20 on here, the divorce list. I don't like it. Can you get a deal? It's just a lot of times when you do a divorce, you get a deal with one, and then the other one won't give you the time of day. And that's the frustrating part, especially if there's kids involved. If you're going to deal with a divorce or divorce list, remember you have to respect both parties because you can't manipulate one side because that's probably how they got divorced. So make sure you make peace with both sides because there's a lot of tension in those deals. Zach Discord, we talked about earlier. Absolutely amazing the amount of deals being done there. It's a great place to do JV deals. And we talk about HOA liens. So HOA stands for Homeowners Associations. And guys, this is one of the most powerful liens you can have outside of property taxes and outside of the first mortgage. They have a lot of rights and they can foreclose quickly. There's a lot of gated communities that people don't pay their HOA liens. This is a great place to get them because people want these liens paid, and the homeowners, obviously, if they're not paying their HOA, they're probably not going to be staying in the house and they got to sell it. Bail bondsmen, you ever hear me talk about bail bondsmen? They help people out that are going to jail. They'll put up between 10 and 12% of whatever their bond is. So if they have a $100,000 bond, they got to come up with $10,000. They get an insurance policy. A lot of times they'll put a lien on that house. They want to be in a first position. They do free and clear houses. And if they don't show up, or there's a problem, then the bail bondsman needs to get paid and they want to get those houses sold. Bail bondsmen have large portfolios of houses. Keep in mind, it does take some time to build relationships with them. But guys, I'm almost out of breath. I might pass out here in a minute. I just crashed you 23 ways to find a deal, especially for motivated sellers.
For free.
That's all you got to do is partner up on like how you're going to attack it. So
yeah, and so if you use a service like xleads.com, like I said, it's basically the only software you really need because it's all in one. So you're looking to do anything, xleads is all in here. And so if you want to actually pull this, you go to xleads. So xleads.com. Basically, you can pull all this data, right? So if you want to go even crazier to find deals, because the reason I would say is I would cover this up and not talk about it, but you were going to find other videos because everybody says, hey, buy a software, pull this. That is the most efficient way if you want to do things fast. But when you have no money, these are actually higher quality. There's a lot of work to do. If you want to list, boom, pull it. You get a list of sellers that actually don't owe much on the property or they don't have a lot of debt. It's called the high equity list. You need a list of people that don't even live in the house, like it's sitting there vacant. It's crazy. This is actually a list you get from the United States Postal Service, and these data companies like xLeads are able to basically get it. It's amazing, right? And they can actually go out here and get that list. You have to be a nonprofit organization. Actually, it's kind of has some things they can do around that. 3, title landlords. There's a list of people that have owned property for a while. That's pretty much it. And this is different than on 12 here, the evictions list, because the evictions list is just a list of landlords evicting their tenants. It's just a guy that's owned a rental for a while. Still an amazing list. Tax delinquency. You can technically get tax delinquency on here. Oh my gosh, we missed it. But yeah, this is a list of people that aren't paying their taxes. There's not a lien on the house yet, but they're delinquent. You can actually get that for free too, but actually you do it pretty quick, pretty simple, easy. 5, absentee owner. This is somebody that actually, like they own the property, but they don't live in the house. But it's not, it might not be, so a lot of people ask me, what's the difference between a tax delinquency and a vacant? Sorry, what's the difference between an absentee owner and a vacant? Vacant's nobody's in the house. So I could own the house, I don't live in it, right? Technically, that's an absentee owner. Absentee owner, though, could be somebody who owns a rental property. So, for example, I am the owner, but I'm absent from the property. So maybe somebody's living in the house, but it's not me. So that's usually a rental property, right? So absentee owner, that's basically what the list is. 6, zombie property. This is a vacant pre-foreclosure. This is when somebody is not paying their mortgage payments. They say, you know what? I'm just getting rid of it. And they leave the foreclosure. And it's sitting there and it's an ugly house and it's a zombie, right? Spooky. 6, zombie properties. 7, pre-foreclosures. You actually pull the list like that pretty quick and easy. 8 is active listings. I'll get into that. But yeah, you can wholesale MLS properties. Not the most fun thing to do, but with XLeads, you were able to find properties that are actually like under market value. They can do not terrible. You can do some more search and parameters. 9, free and clear properties. These are people that own nothing on the house. You get a lot of money on there. 10's low equity, not for wholesaling in the traditional sense, but if you want a wholesale subject to deal, if you want a wholesale lease option, really any creative financing play, you can wholesale it with low equity. Now, on top of that too, you can do AI stacked lists also, which is actually not a bad list to do. With XLeads, they use AI to stack lists. So they'll find an absentee owner that is a zombie property that is also has a lien on it, right? XLeads will stack that list, score it for you, and do it. Also pull the probates. It has a probate scraper in there that you can't really pull, but in the stack list, it uses the probate scraper. I think I showed people, it's pretty cool. The 12 is the liens. People have liens, you can pull this like that. Pretty simple, pretty easy. So this really quick, screenshot this if you want. I'm gonna give everybody a quick second to go screenshot this. This is how you find a wholesaling deal. Hopefully this answers the question of how to find a wholesaling deal, okay? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are we screenshotted? Good to go. Perfect. Okay, so that is basically how to find a wholesaling deal. Hopefully I didn't rant too much, but we spend the most time on finding a deal because that is probably where a majority of the people need to be doing for finding a wholesaling deal. Now, to get back on here, let's talk about the next part, acquisitions. This is going out here and closing the wholesaling deal, okay, or basically getting them to actually sign. This is how we acquire contracts to sign and buy the house, okay? This is how we do it. We actually just find people who are looking to sell the property and we get them to sign the contract. Now, there's no convincing. We are not a typical salesperson. We are more of what we call a qualifier or more of an interviewer here. Now, we have you kind of covered here on what to say. At this point, you're kind of acting, but you're not acting at the same time. The best way I can really describe this is just going out here and letting the seller know that you're looking to buy some houses and just having them sign the contract. You're not pushing somebody. You're not convincing them. What we do is just have a conversation. One thing I will tell you is if you sound like you're nervous, you sound like you don't know what you're talking about, even if it's going to be a good seller, they're not going to go with you. So there is some salesmanship involved on this. And a lot of people get really nervous, right? They're like, oh my gosh, this guy wants to sell. I pulled my list. But what do I say? Really simple, okay? If anybody has a seller and you're looking to talk to them, just think about these 2 this 4-letter acronym. Okay, MCTP. Okay, M stands for motivation. So why do we need to know about motivation?
Because motivation tells you everything. Because if you don't have a motivated seller, you're literally wasting your time. And a lot of people misconstrue what like motivated means. It's if it's not the right motivation, if a seller says, hey, Rick, if you give me $1 million for my property, I'll sell you my house. What are they motivated by? Strictly price. There's nothing I can do to commit. I'm not even going to waste time with them. I'm going to try to peel back because I assume they're most likely lying to me. But the reality is that's somebody who just wants to sell their house if I hit a price point. Those people we avoid like the plague. And the only way you can find out if you're going to move forward with someone is find out what is their motivation. It's simply, what is your reason for selling the house? Now, if you lost your job, if you've missed mortgage payments, understand this. Sellers won't always share their nasty details in the first minute or two with you. You guys don't go on Facebook, you don't go on Instagram and tell everybody about your problems. It's the same thing. How do I get past that? I have to develop rapport with people and get people to open up. I'm not telling you to get in the 30-minute conversations, but we have a simple 4-step rule that we qualify people, because if they don't pass the qualification, you're wasting your time. The reality is you're going to disqualify more people than you qualify in wholesaling. Once you understand that, you can figure out how much time to invest in each seller.
That's it. So MCTP, motivation, condition, time frame, price. Now, probably the most important one is, okay, Zach, I know what to tell them, and I know I need to get them to sign a contract, but how do I get a contract? That's kind of the big one. So we have a free wholesaling course. It's called freewholesaling.com. Now, the reason why I made this course was I don't like repeating myself. Maybe because I'm a lazy bum. But when people ask me, okay, cold calling, Zach, what do I say to a seller when cold calling? I'm like, well, here's a live cold call. Like, here's me calling sellers live and closing them. So a lot of people are like, well, can you show me you actually doing this if you're actually legit? It's a good question. Well, okay, I make a video of me calling sellers live. Guess what YouTube does? They take the video down. They love doing that. They have privacy policies. They don't get anyone doxxed. So I made a free wholesaling course because I was sick of it. YouTube kept taking down a bunch of videos because of their privacy policy, which I don't blame them. But like I want to say, like, hey, this is the property I'm looking at. This is how I found their number. It's against YouTube policies for me to show you guys how to do it. So I made a free course called freewholesaling.com. And on there, I have a private server where I can just basically put any video I want on there. And so this is where it's at. So if you want the contract, you just go to freewholesaling.com. You click a button, it downloads, my assignment's all there. Pretty much it. If you want to watch like 30 hours of me closing sellers, of just like getting a contract signed virtually over the phone and in person, freewholesaling.com is right there. So I don't want to get a whole crazy part about it. Just go to the course. It's all in there. It's absolutely for free. Costs nothing. Freewholesaling.com. That's how you get sellers to actually sign your contract. Now, the next part here is dispositions. Some people call this dispo, cash buyers, whatever you want to call it, right? But this is basically the process of selling your contract for a profit to a cash buyer. Guys, remember that rich uncle guy? It's the easiest one of the three, and probably the one that is the quickest thing to do. We assign our contract for a finder's fee. That's how we do it. That is wholesaling real estate 101. So how do you find a cash buyer? What are the ways to find a cash buyer? Pretty simple. If you're looking to find cash buyers, there are fundamentally 5 like really simple ways to do it. Number 1, okay, Zillow for rents. All right. Most landlords will just list their property for rent on Zillow. A lot of them are cheap. As you know, a lot of rich guys are cheap. Sometimes me to a point, but not for all things. But you know, most of them will just list the property on Zillow for rent. Call them up, say, hey, my name's Zach. I'm actually not looking to rent out your property. I'm seeing if you're looking to buy any more. Just locked up a deal close to you. Easy conversation, right? Number 2, that's free, by the way. Facebook groups is probably one of my favorite ones to do. Facebook groups. So if you go to the Central Ohio Real Estate Investors Association, if you're in Columbus or whatever wholesaling, go there, say, hey, who's looking to buy houses? Oh, I am. Boom. Simple,
Yep.
right? Number 3 here, this is another way that is free. These are realtors. Realtors, with these new regulations coming down the bat, they are absolutely struggling right now. Like a lot of buyers agents. And
Yeah.
if you can give them commission, you can make them money. So realtors are a great way to do it. Number 4 here is you can actually do something pretty simple, but you just go to your title company. So for example, you remember that title company I kind of told you in that other example? Usually if you find a wholesaling friendly title company, they will go out here, all right? And they'll do 15, 20, 30, 40 of those transactions every single month. So if you're doing 40 wholesale transactions from all the wholesalers in my city, it's a decent amount of them, you probably know some buyers. Ask them, hey, can I have a list of buyers? I actually have this deal I'm looking to get sold. They love it because they want to get that transaction fee. They don't want you to lose out on that deal. And then 5, I'm going to make it in red because you have to pay for it. So, ooh, I get it. But I literally took a red for a red. But basically, the 5th way to do this is you can use a disposition software. So there's a lot of disposition softwares that are like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year. The one that I personally use is called X Leads. Oh, wait, what do you mean? I thought X Leads was the thing you got for your skip tracing. I thought it was the one you got for your list polling. I thought it was the one that did the AI and the comping and the CR. Oh, yeah, but it also is a disposition software. So you can pop in the address, and the top ranked buyers off of the AI algorithm shows you the top cash buyers, the top landlords. You can post a listing. You can upload your deal. Heck, even in X Leads, I'm not trying to convince anyone, but just telling you on X Leads, xleads.com, you can also put all your buyers in the CRM, and it matches the top buyers in your CRM to your property. Pretty dang cool. So these are the 5 ways to find buyers to dispo your deal. Really, these are the free ways. This is the one paid way. X Leads, definitely, it's not a $40,000 a year software. It's pretty dang cool. But that's how you disposition and sell your property. Now, there's a lot of terms if you're really, really new into wholesaling real estate, right? There's a lot of these terms, a lot of this lingo you're going to hear, right? And I'm going to tell you like ARV and comps and all these words. Like I've never heard half of these words. What's going on? We have a dictionary at freewholesaling.com too of just telling you what these terms are, how they work, and just so you can get some understanding. Now, let's kind of make a game plan, guys and gals. How are we going out here and how are we finding a wholesaling deal? 80% of all first deals. So I've taught a lot more people than ever how to get the first wholesaling deal, especially now in 2025. 80% of all the first deals come from just 3 sources. Number 1, they go in their car, they drive for dollars, and they put a sticky note on the house. That is probably one of the most common ways. Number 2, they'll cold call or list that costs no money. They get the skip tracing for free. And then number 3, they'll text the seller. That's how they do. 80% of all first deals come from those 3 methods. So if you talk to 100 people that got their first deal, 80 of them got a deal from only those 3 ways. So just letting you know. And fun fact, I didn't get my first deal from any of those. Rick didn't get his first deal from any of those either. That's how old we are in the wholesaling game, right? So this business has changed a lot, but for people right now, like right now, that is the way to do it. Now, again, if you are looking to dispo, cold call the 4 rents. That is the quickest way to get your deal done. Find buyers that actually want to buy your deal. Now, if we're looking to do this in under 2 weeks, right? Like boom, 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 quick, easy, simple, fast, speed, speed, speed. It's all about taking action. And I'll tell everybody watching this, if I had to give you a game plan, and I say this a lot, but I would tell everyone, roughly, if you were looking to create a schedule to know if you're doing right, 10, 15 hours a week. That is what you need to be doing. If you're not putting in 10 to 15 hours a week, wow, that's in the way. Is it this one? I think it's this one. If you're not putting 10 to 15 hours a week, not good. We need to bump our numbers up. That is exactly roughly where we need to be at to get wholesaling real estate deals done. Now, on top of this too, I'll tell everyone, if you had to focus on one thing in your business, so if I have somebody in wholesaling real estate and I got to figure out if they're making money or not, I just have to ask them this: offers. This is the most important thing we need to focus on in wholesaling. If you are not making offers, you are not making money. So if I ask somebody, how many offers do you make a week on off-market properties from your cold calling, whatever it is, they say 10. I know they're at least doing, if they make 10 offers, they're probably doing 3-4 deals a month. If you are not making offers, you're not making money. So if you tell yourself, hey, I only make 1 offer a month, you need to increase the offers. Now, how do you increase offers? You do more marketing. Simple as that. This business is really simple. You just got to go out here and find people looking to sell their property. On top of this too, be a part of a community. Now, this is the pitch where everyone says, be a part of the community. It's $14,000 on my jet ski. And that's how you get rich. Guys, we see every other wholesaling influencer type guy on you or gal on YouTube. Gals can be gurus too. We want to give them shout out to them too. Shout out to the gal gurus. They're just as bad. But basically what I mean by this is we decided to make a community for free. And we have, this channel, but we also have a Discord. And this Discord has tens of thousands of people actively every single day on voice chats, hanging out, networking, really helping each other out. It's called ZachDiscord.com. It's one of the best communities out here in wholesaling. It's probably I think it's the fastest growing Discord in real estate. So it's pretty dang cool. So what I'll tell everyone is, what is your homework? What do you need to be doing right now? I'll tell everybody, sign up number one at freewholesaling.com, the free course. Hands down, just download the contracts. I don't care. Get through it. It's an amazing course. Join the Discord. It's ZachDiscord.com, ZachDiscord. I actually go live every Friday night at 8 p.m. there. And we just hang out as a community. It's pretty cool. And then we'll hang out for like an hour or two after. It's really awesome. And then again, make sure you subscribe to all of the YouTube channels we have. We actually have multiple YouTube channels because we kind of do different wholesaling things on each one. But the main channel is Flip with Rick. And then we have my personal channel called Rick Ginn. I go live every Sunday night at 10 o'clock, late night. Mostly for the West Coasters out here. And then Rick goes live at?
Monday evening, 5 p.m. Eastern time.
That's it. And then we go live on those channels. And then again, Flip with Rick YouTube channel, we go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 o'clock Eastern. And that's pretty much it. So I don't know what excuse you have, guys. If you tell yourself, hey, I can't find a deal. I know how to find a deal. Wholesaling's too saturated. If you want to go to my face and tell me wholesaling is hard and too saturated, I want you to do every single one of these, every mix match possible, and tell me. Now, let me tell you the truth here. I know how combination math works. If you are going to go out here, okay, and let's do the math here, okay? If you're going to go out here and do all of these combinations, we just got to multiply 12 by 23. There's 276 combinations you can do. Think about that for a second. If you want to add that in, times it by 12, there's a lot. There's thousands you can do from there. It's like if you have a combo lock of 4, right? It's like, oh, it could be anything, right? It's pretty dang interesting. So you can drive for dollars, boom, boom, drive for dollars, all these lists. Cold call all these lists. And then you can just mix and match it. Then you can go crazy. It's crazy, guys. So I'm telling you, there's over 276 free ways to get a wholesaling deal. Whoa, it's pretty crazy. So guys, what's your excuse? Change your life. I changed my life doing this because I believed in myself. You changed your life because you believed in yourself. There's an inherent risk with this, but the one risk that you're never going to have is paying money. So a lot of people say, oh, there's a risk. There's not really a risk to wholesaling because the only risk is money. And if you don't spend any money, you're pretty much good to go. What I tell everybody is be careful of guru programs. Someone's trying to take your money. Don't do it. You can do this all for free. What I do encourage people, though, is once you get that first deal, start investing in a software like X Leads to actually, as a tool to actually make it a little better. But don't do it starting out. That's pretty much it. I kind of look at X Leads as kind of fire on a flame that you already have. And that's it. Wholesaling's changed my life, and we're here to change your life doing it. Yeah. And you're not alone, right? You got the Discord. You can make daily accountability posts with other people doing every single day, and join an active community wholesaling real estate. So guys, make sure you go to freeholesaling.com, learn how to wholesale real estate. That's how you wholesale real estate absolutely for free. So quite a fancy live stream we had today, but I think it was definitely something worth it and pretty cool. Guys, if you go on the stream here and you actually go in the comments, you're going to see other people, other wholesalers, okay, going out here in the comments doing deals, right? So I think I just saw one. Let me see if I can pop it up. Heather Ross, shout out to Heather. I've done 9 deals thanks to these guys.
Nice.
Wow.
Woo! She's passed the 5 deal minimum. So as I said, our goal is to get you your first deal and then get you well under $100,000, get you to your 5th deal. And I say statistically, when you do 5 wholesale deals, you're kind of married to this game and you're a really good fit. And then if you want to reach out to me and Zach, we'd show you ways to scale, work with us with flipwithrickplus.com, or just do JV deals with us, whatever you want to do. But hats off. That's amazing to Heather, man. That's awesome.
Oh my gosh. Insane. So shout out to Heather on there. Shout out to Draco's best dispo software on earth. Draco's literally, man, wait for version 2 of X Leads.
Yeah,
it is coming.
Enjoy it.
It is coming, and it is going to be insane. I promise you. I released it at the event.
Yeah.
And people's minds were blown. It's all secret, but we're looking at the end of November of releasing it. So watch out for the big version 2 release party. We're going to stream it live and we're going to share. It's wholesaling software is not going to be the same. And everyone asks me, what is it? What is it? So I'm going to reveal basically a big hint on it, right? So when we created X Leads, did about 80% of what we want to do. It's called the all-in-one wholesaling software. Then people start saying, well, why don't you have this? Why don't you do this? Do you have this? And then I'm like, well, I still have to use this software to get everything.
Yep.
Or for it to be economical. I said, okay, roger that. Well, I'm just going to do that. And it just covers it. So it's all completely 100%. And it's on par to any wholesaling software and or better for the cheapest price possible. Because there's no affiliates, anything like that. I get asked on a daily basis, Zach, can I be an affiliate for X Leads? I'm like I can't really be they're like, well, we can double the price of X Leads. So the $49 a month, we can sell it for $97 a month, and then I can get half of that. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, but they're doubling X Leads, right? That's the problem. So we have a plan. It's like I think $149 a month. Like, well, I could sell this thing for $130 a month, and then you just give me half of that. I'm like, no, like that's
just
not.
Give you the best
there's no
price.
affiliate, right?
Yeah.
Well, we keep the price the cheapest we can. So shout out to Draco's on there, and shout out to everyone out here doing deals. So 9 deals. I love seeing that. So let's see here. Awesome. Did you guys sell your old studio with the screens? No. We're actually still in the process of getting it moved. So it's not an easy task moving that entire studio into the X Leads office here, but it's pretty dang cool. So that'll get done hopefully next Thursday live stream. It'll be all set in there, I hope. I think I have to kick some butt to get it done, but it'll definitely be done before the big X Leads release, and the whole new studio will be there. It's going to be like the old one, except we kind of have this little setup here, which is kind of cool. But
we got more options.
No, we're transitioning it, so we let them work when we had our event. But yeah, no, guys, the old studio is not going away. We're not only doing whiteboards all the time, right? But we're getting the whiteboard game right now because we're letting the studio change. So yeah, let's see here. The guy with the monocle is the Monopoly guy. Yeah, him and the Peanuts dude. So what's going on, Dylan? Dylan's cool. Dylan's actually heavy in the Discord. He is in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Shout out to him. He's a good guy and do deals with you. So let's see here. What's up? Saying hi to everyone. I like it. So guys, this was kind of like, okay, this people like the whiteboard. I think the whiteboard's pretty good. It's hard to put this on like a stream and show it. It's old school, but it's how it is.
Still works.
It's how it works. So like usual, guys, if you got any value from this video, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe. Go to freeholesaling.com. It is my free course. It's free. Just go there. You'll learn how to wholesale real estate absolutely for free, step by step. Again, on that Discord too, ZachDiscord.com. I'm going live tomorrow at 8 p.m. So make sure you're hanging out there. That's going to be pretty dang cool. And then from there, you got your Monday live stream. We got my Sunday live stream. And we're just releasing content and helping you guys live the best life you possibly can, because This business has blessed my life. I see people every single day changing their life from wholesaling, and I know you can do the same thing. I'm fired up. I talk about wholesaling all day, every day.
Yep.
People think I'm annoying with it, but I'm telling you, this, if you obsess over it, that is how you get rich. Obsessed with changing your life, obsessed with finding sellers, obsessed with helping sellers, doing the right thing, getting rich, wholesaling real estate. So, guys, this is Zach Ginn signing out.
Rick Ginn signing out.
Thank you guys so much for helping us out by just supporting us. And the best way, I get asked by anybody, is like, what can I do to help you? I just want to help. I said the best way to help me is to help yourself get rich. That is it. Not for testimonial, just so your life can be changed. That is the best thing you can do for me. I can buy anything I want, but the only thing I can't buy is changing someone's life like that. So go out here and do it. Guys, hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Again, thank you guys so much.